be honest, there's very little that surprises us these days in the transfer window, but perhaps the news that David Luiz is looking to move from Chelsea to Arsenal has come, pardon the pun, Mark, out of the blue.
Really has. First I heard this morning, Geoff, so surprising. Not sure what's behind that, where it came from, but that did shock me.
It seems a strange one, Andy. He signed a new 2-year deal in May.
Right.
So obviously Chelsea have a new manager in Frank Lampard.
Yeah. Maybe different ideas. Maybe Frank is going to put more faith in Christensen and other younger players. And maybe David Luiz has felt that the experience he's had at Chelsea is coming to a bit of a natural close, if you like. Maybe he feels that way. I happen to think if he goes to Arsenal, I've always enjoyed watching David Luiz. I get how some people are all, I can imagine, you know, as his manager, Mark, there would be times when you're watching him and you might be panicking a wee bit. But I like him for the fact he seems a character. He seems always seemed a reliable sort. Again, rumours over the last few hours about him downing tools, whether he did or whether he didn't, I don't know. I hope not. I hope that's not the case. But if Arsenal get him, I think he'd be a good addition for them.
I just think do you think it's not perhaps strange for Chelsea, who obviously can't sign anybody? Gary Cahill has gone, and for him to go as well?
I think Andy's right about Frank promoting the youth. I think he's obviously spoken closer to the owner, and I think he could go down that route. They are still short. I don't know how Rudiger is he injured or not? I don't know, but they are short, definitely.
But just at 32, his experience, if you are bringing youth on...
But there's obviously a reason behind it. It's happened so quickly. As I say, first thing this morning, you have to wonder what is behind it. I'm sure we'll find out in the coming days, but it's a strange move. And what's involved in terms of finance?
I was going to say, Mark, if the number is that good, Geoff, if the amount that Arsenal are looking to pay for him is, you know, there's always a number where you go, I think we ought to do that. I think we need to do that, particularly for a guy that's, say he's 32, Geoff.
Yeah.
You know, for a guy that's 32, that might well be the case. Arsenal needs something like that. Look, what you are getting with David Luiz, you'll have fans no doubt over the next 24 hours saying, oh, he's not the sort of thing we wanted. Hold on, he's played here for a number of years. He's got tons of Premier League games under his belt and some very good ones as well. Won trophies, been part of winning teams with winning mentalities. Arsenal need a bit of that. He might not be the one that they thought they were going to get, but I don't think that's a bad deal, I really don't.
Arsenal fans feel that Mustafi can be erratic. Is David Luiz similar?
I think he can be erratic. That's we've all seen it, but there's no doubt he's a world-class defender in terms of his Brazilian background, international background, and I think he'll improve Arsenal's defence. I do. I think he'll bring something else, as Andy said, something different to Arsenal. He gets on the ball, he's comfortable in possession, obviously something going forward as well in both boxes, so I think he will improve them. I'm just intrigued by the finance side. Because, as you mentioned, there's no sell-on value.
No.
You know, there's a couple of years out.
It's kind of not been Arsenal policy, is it?
No, it's not.
Who would you have if you were Arsenal? Who would you have taken, Luiz or Cahill?
Well, probably. I mean, and I really like Gary Cahill. So Gary Cahill for nothing, or David Luiz for? We don't know what the number's going to be, but I mean, it's going to be surely David Luiz is going to be 10 million quid or in and around. I don't know, maybe even a little bit more than that. I've really got no idea. I probably would say David Luiz, Probably, just at the moment. I think Gary spent a lot of time not playing last year, and I think Palace for Gary is a really good move. I do, but I think for Arsenal, I'd probably have said David Luiz.
They've finally agreed, Arsenal, a fee with Celtic for Kieran Tierney. Mm-hmm. Mark, first of all, you'll have seen him a fair bit from your time in Scotland, but also, what do you make of? It's been quite a protracted purchase, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, you look at Kieran; he's an outstanding fullback, outstanding. And there's so much still development potential left in him.
What's he got? What makes him so good?
He's an attacking fullback. He's comfortable.
Robertson like.
Yeah, he does. He gets forward with good delivery. He's tenacious. His 1v1 is good. He's a really good young fullback, and he's shown his quality at Champions League level for Celtic, internationally, etc. So I'm surprised. I think for me that he's been identified as the person they need. Go and get the deal done. It was very un-Arsenal-like to project it out for so many weeks, and what I understand over a minimal sum for the Premier League club. So that did amuse me somewhat, but in Tierney they're getting a really quality addition to the squad.
And it's where they needed to strengthen, and they've spent money elsewhere as well. Pepe was done early, wasn't it? So apparently as well they are in for Rugani. Whether that's gone away now, if Luiz comes in, we don't know from Juve, but
If you get Tierney and you get David Luiz, I think all the Arsenal fans will sleep a bit easier tonight. I do, because it's an area that they've had to improve upon. Rob Holding played really well for Arsenal, I thought, when he at the start of last season before he got his injury. Mustafi's always is just, I'm afraid, has a rick in him, and it's lurking at any given moment. He's going to make a mistake. Koscielny's fitness had obviously gone a little bit. So you've got to improve that. You've got to change that. They've got, there are very, very few clubs blessed. We've just been talking about Man United. If you think of Aubameyang and Lacazette, very few clubs have got that up top. And Arsenal have got it. They got
with Pepe Ceballos as well.
And you throw in Ozil and Mkhitaryan and all these other boys that they've got. They've got plenty that way, but they need some substance at the back. They've needed it for some time, and hopefully the two new additions will prove to be good business.
The boy from Juventus, I think he'll be a quality addition.
Right.
I think he's going to be first choice for the national Ghani, for the national team going forward. So I think you get him and you're an Arsenal fan, you are excited. Absolutely.